going to do is going to be a little bit different. I'm going to have an overall message. I'm going to give you 2 or 3 action steps, and then I'm going to give you solutions. So it's going to be basically a list format, and each week will be different, just to give you some kind of goal going into the next week. Bring some, shed light on something that had maybe been talked about a lot the week prior, things like that. And as we do these, I will develop them more, and they'll probably be a lot smoother. But I figured rather than just waiting for Wednesday lessons, if we all are able to feel keyed in and supported and stuff, and just seeing each other and being here for this Zoom, even though it's a short one, once a week, I just think it adds another layer of us and our motivation for that week. So the message that I have for you guys, which is the first part of each of these Zooms, is about problem solving, okay? Knowing there's a problem is the first step. That is sometimes the thing we miss. We don't understand that we are the way we are, or we're making it harder on ourselves. Recognizing that problem is important, but it's completely useless if it then doesn't become a pursuit of a solution. Now, I understand trying to solve our hormones. We all have been trying to solve our hormones for years. It's what's led you here. But when it comes to problems in your everyday, everything is solvable. It could be annoying at first, but it's solvable. Make sure that throughout the week, you're writing down whatever's giving you a problem, whatever you don't understand. If you're like, crap, I don't know how to not eat bread, write that down. That's a problem to solve. That's something to think about. You can't just expect that something that's plagued you for a really long time can be easily gone just because you recognize it. It's all fine and dandy to say, oh, I'm just not going to do this anymore. We've all done that. And if we go back on that, it doesn't mean because we're a piece of garbage. It just means that we're not looking at solving the problem. We're just looking at the fact that there is one and thinking we have this responsibility to just fix it and just know how to make it better already. So going into this week, I want you to remember, you are as powerless as you allow yourself to be. It's a very hard concept. It takes a long time to feel it, but start by saying it to yourself. This can be translated from the thermostat thermometer talk I gave last week on the lesson. You are only as powerless as you agree to be. If there is something tormenting you, something puzzling you, confusing you, whether it's your schedule, you're doing all your mom stuff, looking like a human being now that things are opening up again, and having a schedule to stick to changes, whatever your problem is, your struggle is, write it down. It's a problem to solve. Okay, you're as powerless as you allow yourself to be. So that's the first part. Now I'm going to give you guys some action steps for the week, and I apologize, I wish I could write it out on the whiteboard. It looks way more profesh. But what I'm going to do is put it in the chat. So if you guys want to open that up, that'll help you. Okay, so we're going to focus on binges. 1, recognize that binges have different faces. Binges do not have to always be crying into a pint of Ben & Jerry's or shoving a whole Entenmann's loaf into your mouth. Like, that's the movie version of a binge, and might be a binge, for you or whatever. But a binge can simply be throwing everything is important to you to the wayside to allow for something, because like candy or bread or whatever, just because you don't want to think, you don't want to deal, you don't want to, even if it's not a large quantity, if it's more than you intended to eat or differently than you intended to eat, and it's a result of an emotion that led you there, good or bad, that's technically a binge. So look at the state of everything happening right now. I feel impossible not to feel that stress on you no matter what. So if you know that you tend to get snacky when you're stressed, I know I do. I keep things in my house that I can have and not have to think of portions. I keep like the seaweed packs. That's come up a lot, oddly enough. I feel like all of us link up and have the same issues, solutions, and stuff every time. It's so funny. But I want to say 3 or 4 different clients this week, we've talked about seaweed snacks as like the surprising delicious thing. If you haven't tried it and you're making stink face, Try it. It's actually good. If you don't like it, I'm sorry, disregard this. But seaweed snacks, there's like nothing in them. I could house like 3 packs of those to the face in one sitting. Doesn't matter. It still felt like I was noshing. Like it still felt like I was snacking. I can't even see myself as I'm talking. Okay. So figure out, make a list of noshings that you can keep around that you do not have to think about. You don't have to portion. You're just good to go. And keep those stocked in your house. Now, if you're like, well, I need a list of those, text me. Let's come up with ones you like. But don't stop. If you want to fuel a binge, I'm going to tell you, how do I want to even phrase this? Here are 2 things that are going to fuel you to binge in any capacity, large quantity, small quantity, okay? 1, saying no to yourself for something repeatedly and then not continuing to eat something you enjoy. So if you say no, it's not a worth it moment, I shouldn't be eating this thing that I want, and then you move on. That's great, right? It seems like a win. It sticks. The next time you do that, no, it's okay. You know what? I'm going to be better than that, blah, blah, blah. The next time. Suppose you have a really stressful week and you sit there and you start saying, I still look the same way I always looked. I'm not attractive, blah, blah, blah. I hate this. I hate that. Okay, how seriously are you going to take saying no to that thing you've been saying no to repeatedly when you feel that crappy? And we could sit here and say, well, I'm just going to make sure I don't feel that crappy. That's great. You know, I'm going to go play the lottery and tomorrow I'll win. You know, like, so stop fighting human nature. If you know you're snacky these days, you know you're going to tell yourself no to some things that you binge on that aren't hormone friendly. Make sure that you still eat something or have something that makes you excited, that whether you make it, whether you buy it, whatever. But don't say no, then go without anything yummy. Replace. Now, that's not to say you need to like a substitute version of that thing. If you have not tried really hard to find a substitute version of that thing you like, I highly recommend if you want to have a fun lifestyle with this. But it's okay. It's not everyone's there yet. Try to start thinking of other completely different foods that just happen to be hormone friendly, that you do happen to enjoy eating, and make sure those are what you keep around. It's not always about trying to trick your brain with a substitute. It's just about saying there's a time and place for certain foods when it doesn't help me and the results that I'm trying to get in my body. You know, I would rather wait and have that one thing when it's a worth it moment and still be able to eat these delicious things in the meantime. That's the concept. That's what makes it fun, is being real with it and understanding that it's not a replacement. It's just making sure you're not really miserable saying no to something that you wanted to have. Okay. And number 2, keep the food you want to binge on around, like any hormone friendly ones, like I was saying, but also do not keep your binge kryptonite around. It's like this dirty secret, you know, like people will be like, well, you know, I had this, and this. And I'll say, okay, because it's the binge food that they're struggling with. And I'm like, okay, well, did you go get that or do you have that in your home? And a lot of times it'll be either they went and got it and it's part of a routine of some kind, or they just have it around. So I'll say, well, why do you have that around? They're like, well, I don't know. I used to eat these. Or they'll say, well, my kid likes them. Depending on what it is, like if you're talking about apple snacks, okay. But if you're talking about, you know, like Gushers and Pop-Tarts and stuff that, I'm going to be real with you, isn't great for kids anyway, then if it's going to make you sick to eat it and it's still not nutritious and not great for your kid anyway, why are you letting it take up space in your shelf? It's being left there just waiting to enable a binge or a decision that counteracts work that you've done this week. And it's not even worth it. It's not even fantastic. You know, think about, hold on, let me write this before my ADD gets me out of here. Hold on. Okay. So keep binge okay food and get rid of binge temptations. Okay, so getting used to, and this will be part of the solution, which is next, but getting used to some very easy classic things that you can schlop together. Like I can make a chocolate microwave cake and have a scoop of vanilla halo top ice cream on top of that, like the warm chocolate. Oh my God, I'm like gonna drool. The warm chocolate microwave cake. How delicious if you could have warm centered cake with an ice cream scoop on top of it within 2-3 minutes. Amazing. And you can, and it's a lot. It's like a sizable amount for the recipe. I can't finish it, even no matter how, snacky I am, I still can't finish it myself. So imagine if you're saying, you're passing a place that you love, like you're passing Krispy Kreme, right? And you're like, oh man, those Krispy Kremes are so good. Make this whatever it is that you crave, right? I wish I could have one, like I've been good lately. I don't know. I guess I could get away with it just once. Maybe it's a worth it moment. I'm never around this area. Okay. But imagine if instead you went, oh, Krispy Kreme would be really good. I have to make sure I plan for that one day. Maybe I'll drive out here on a worth it day with some of my girls, or, when the quarantine's lifted, I'll go with my family. But in the meantime, I think I'm going to go home and make like a full chocolate microwave cake with the halo top on top. Maybe I'll crush up some lilies on top of that. That sounds really good. I'm going to get in my pajamas, put some Netflix on, and eat the whole thing to my face. And it's still hormone friendly. Isn't that so much more fun, even than the stupid Krispy Kreme? It's all about how we make our replacements. It's all about how we embody the lifestyle that helps us feel the best. You're going to feel great and you're going to be able to eat really yummy things. It's just about getting over that hump of having to think about it. So the solutions for this week, okay? Place a nutrition order no matter what, unless you have already, of course, or unless it is truly outside of your means. I don't mean to pressure, but if you're able to, even a small one. Did it spell it the right way, or did it autocorrect me? Okay, nutrition.com. Even if it's a small order, look up breads, pastas, cakes, cookies, candy, whatever it is that you tend to binge out on or crave or would like to feel like you can snack on without having to think about it. Try to look for it on Nutrition. It is the most reasonable website I found, price-wise. Delivery's quick. Huge selection, almost overwhelming. So text me if you get overwhelmed. But place any size order this week. Be proactive in that way. If you can't, for some reason, do Nutrition, look for local Whole Foods or certain grocery stores. I know, Lindsay, you're on here. You said Sprouts had it. Look for Smart Sweets, Lily's Chocolate. Those of us who love bread and carbs, we're always kind of shit out of luck on this one. But for that, you can definitely order on Nutrition. And there are some other websites too. So text me if you're down to place a few little orders, okay? I get no kickback. I just friggin' love the website. So that's number one. Number two, pick one thing that is a staple in your week, okay? Whether it be bread, tortillas, cake, cookies, whatever. Think of one baked good type of staple in your common meals throughout the week, right? And try to create a replacement for them. Try to think of one day. So pick a day. Make that your test kitchen day. Okay. Now, some of the recipes that I have for you guys take a few minutes. Don't take up a whole lot of time. Don't take a lot, you don't have to make a whole batch of something. Let's say you want to test something out. I like doing this, how I come up with my recipes. So I will say, okay, I'm going to make this. I want to see how it comes out, but I'm going to cut the recipe down by 1/3. So everything is like divided by 3 ingredient wise. So I make a very small portion. Do whatever measurement makes sense for your recipe. Don't like go nuts trying to, what the hell's 1/3 of an egg? but try your best to just cut the recipe down so you don't have to feel bad about the amount of ingredients you're using if you don't like it. Okay. So pick a day. That's your test kitchen day. Pick a staple. Like, I'm going to really try to hammer down the only dough this week. I'm going to make it into taco shells. So for those of you who have baked the only dough before, maybe this week you stovetop it and you make it for the first time as a taco shell, but pick a day this week, make it your test kitchen day, and try something that's a baked good, like a staple. And when you nail it, it's going to make your life a lot easier. Okay. And 3, take time tonight. I recommend before you even get up from where you're sitting, because trust me, if I know this well, the second you move momentum onto something else, the mood kind of shifts, that drive might change. Before you get up, try to set reminders in your phone for this week. Think to yourself, what reminders might I need? Do I need to remember to make bread by a certain day, or whatever staple you're picking, by a certain day? Do I need to put the Zoom reminder for Wednesday in there? Do you need to put reminders to remember to drink throughout the day or to eat throughout the day? Whatever you think would be helpful for you to set a reminder for your hormonal goals for this week, even if it's just one, start somewhere, put them in your phone. Okay, so 3, plan reminders and appointments. Okay, so I believe in all of you. This week, how you start the week says a lot about how the week goes. And you may get off of this and feel super pumped up, have a crazy, amazing Monday, and then feel like crap on Tuesday and be like, whoa, it's all shot to shit. It's not easy to adopt something new like that, as much as we try to make ourselves believe that it is. So that's why I'm here. I want you guys, if you struggle implementing this, if you're not as excited about this throughout the week, you make sure you stay in contact with me, because you're only as powerless as you allow yourself to be. Okay? This was fun. I'm fired up. I think I was just going to go cook and schlub around. I think I'm going to go write stuff. But if you guys have any feedback you want to give me, this is the first one, so I would really, really appreciate it. I'm a feedback queen. But yeah, enjoy your week. I'll see you guys Wednesday. I'll talk to you throughout, and I'm here if you need me. Okay? So, bye.